Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 0xa2 or AD2. It's the 163rd episode. Reminder, nothing on the show is financial advice. And stay tuned after the updates for an AMA. This week on Number Go Up, it's corruption, as always, I guess. But that's the one thing that we could find that would make sense to everyone and is current. Next, we go to Dragonchain updates for, in case you missed it, there is the 10 questions that businesses should ask prior to selecting a blockchain provider before jumping into a blockchain implementation. Businesses really should ask these 10 specific questions of their blockchain provider to ensure a successful implementation that will scale well into the future. Essentially, from all of the history that we've had with implementing blockchains, these are a lot of the things that would have prevented some of the failures that we've seen before we came into a project. That is, we've dealt with a lot of businesses that have tried to do something on blockchain prior, and they tend to and it's early, they didn't have a lot of this info. Next, we had a new contract closing. It was development has already started. Licensing is a big part of it. It was of significant value. There's a revenue share component, and maybe most interestingly to viewers, it will have a major MYFii factor ID component, decentralized identity. It's very exciting, and it's going to be a great opportunity to expand on the MYFii integrations and some of the capabilities that will be built out. So again, I'm not going to announce who it is, or at least not until go live and they want to announce it. But in the very least, just know that it's a new contract. It's a good thing. Next, also, in case you missed it, last night there was an open source money watch party, and we had a lot of fun. A bunch of friends watching the show, me cringing at any time that I'm speaking on there, and my monotone voice and so on. But it was fun, and it was actually a really good experience. Had a lot of great comments from Satoshi Sean, Litecoin Lisa. Distant was on there. Greg was on there. So, the gang from World Blockchain Roundtable. Reggie from Veritasium tried to join, but had some issues with audio or video. And it was well worth the watch. So if you want to watch that, you can watch it in Den, as it was linked there. You can watch it in the Dragonchain layer or on Dragonchain's YouTube. And if you want to watch it without any of the commentary or annoyances, of us talking over various parts of it. In particular, or if you need a faster watch to see the entire program, I think it's about an hour 20, hour 25, something like that. And you would go to the opensourcemoney.tv link, or look in the Vision Tree channel, Open Source Money, on YouTube, and you can see the entire thing as it is, raw, perfect. You know, it's worth watching. There's especially for the history there's a lot of projects other than Dragonchain that were interviewed and included in that. So it's useful, it's interesting. So next we'll go to Den.social updates. First up, we have the September 2022 LCP commitment phase starts today. So essentially you need to go through, if you have any ideas for, well, if you have looked through, you need to now go and vote on, you know, the various proposals in the LCP. And if you go to the little circle with the checkbox nav on the Den.social site, you'll be able to see the entire list ranked either by lore or unique voters. And per a DENDAO vote, it remains the winners, the selected layers that will be created after this week, will be the #1 layer as proposed by unique voter, the #5 layer as ranked by lore committed, and the #13 layer as proposal as ranked by lore committed. So this will run for 1 week. It will end, the commitment phase will end on Tuesday, September 20th. So make sure you go through and review, decide where you want to put your lore. And it's always a fun process to see what wins every month. So next update, Coffee with Den every Wednesday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. It is now a DAO. So if you participate, you get some ability to help affect how the show develops over time. I need to start getting on that show, and I think they're going to start doing a lot of different interesting things in that channel. So it should be fun. Next, there is in the DENDAO layer, there is a governance issue for the DAO, which is to shut down the Comunidad Hispana layer. And it's detailed. It's something that's not, you know, it's not a super positive thing, but we think that we have a possible solution, but I don't know if they're going to want to try it or not. I have spoken with a number of people, some other people that do things, a lot of things for Den, and a lot of the people in the Spanish layer as well have weighed in. And we're just kind of trying to figure out what the best path forward is, because there's just too much drama and not enough visibility, frankly. You know, essentially they tried to ban over 200 members of their subscribers in the layer to avoid downvotes, where essentially I think that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back on what was going on over there, for me anyway. So I proposed this until we have an algorithmic solution, which is really what we want. So while we're trying to get through that, cut through drama, please weigh in, you know, see where you would stand on it, see what you think, and you know, vote or ask or provide ideas. So do what you can there. It's all good. And the DAO stuff, it's all functioning extremely well. And for anybody who doesn't know, unlike most other, or maybe even every other DAO, DENDAO is a reference implementation of the Dragonchain behavior systems. So you don't have to have purchased anything to participate. It essentially weighs or measures your behavior per the way that the DAO has decided to reward behavior. So the more that you participate in a good way on Den, and you know, it's an objective measure because it's by evaluation of everybody else on Den, that the more weight you will have in this vote. So go in there, even if you have a small amount of vote, it's worth weighing in. So anyway, go do that. Go check it out on DENDAO. Next, there's a DENDAO meeting, which is a live call this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 Universal Time Code. See the post in the DENDAO layer for the agenda and a link to join live. Please leave suggestions if you have any thoughts of what needs to be added to the agenda, any focus points. You're also welcome to join to cover anything about DEN. That's ideas, complaints, issues, or just to comment on what we're talking about. It's a meeting, it's not a show, so it's just to show up and participate. And we also do watch. If you're not able, you can at least make a comment in one of the feeds, YouTube or LinkedIn or something, and it will show up and we can answer as well there. So show up if you can. Next, we'll go to the World Blockchain Roundtable update, episode 68. We'll be on September 15th, this Thursday. The topic is transitioning from number go up to blockchain go up. There are already a number of really good questions in there. I looked last night. Do please leave a question or subject to discuss. Every time, if you get something answered on air, you will get a lot in the roundtable show DAO, which effectively directs the future of the show, and the rules and how people are rewarded and how the whole show runs. So, get involved and make sure you watch and share last week's episode, which was great, by the way, on making the world better with blockchain and decentralized systems. It was a very positive show with, going over a lot of the negatives in the current world and how they can be addressed with this technology and, limitations and things you need to know. It's really interesting. The more views that it does get in its first week, the more all the participants, including the people who suggested the topic and the people who asked the questions, will get. So get in there and at least share it and watch it and do whatever you can to spread the word. Also, there is a new World Blockchain Roundtable DAO governance issue. I guess it is not a governance issue yet. It is just a post to suggest themes, which will be in a governance issue. So this is your chance to basically make post some good ideas. And there's some really interesting ones in there, very different as well, for how we'd want to do things. So get in there and, have at it, make any suggestion you want, even if it's crazy, it might pass and you'll get lot for it. And so watch this Thursday at 3 p.m. Universal Time Code. And that's everything for updates. So we'll do an AMA right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
Okay, here we go. So we refresh live so you can see that any updates that happen. I don't know how many questions there were there when we looked yesterday. There were not very many. So, okay, Kratos God of Boy. Let's see here. How do you think Dragonchain and other projects built on Ethereum can benefit from the ETH 2.0 merge? Okay, so make sure for clarity that we say the Dragonchain is not built on ETH. We leverage ETH to secure the token. And it's an interesting point because a lot of times it's missed, and it's so long ago that we were given tremendous amount of crap from some trolls in the community. Why are you launching this on Ethereum? This doesn't make any sense. You have your own blockchain. When mainnet used to be the big thing back then, because that was the thing that would drive price when I think Neo or one of these other projects said, oh, hey, we're launching our own mainnet, and the price went up. So everybody wanted the same pattern. It was ridiculous. And we we had to tell them, look, Dragonchain, one of its founding principles was interoperability, one of the things that the architecture makes possible. And this is, number one, a direct and substantial demonstration immediately at the 0 hour of the ability of this platform, of this architecture to interoperate with other blockchains and systems. So that was the number one thing. The other, and this is directly tied to the purpose of the ERC20 standard, which was an interoperability or integration standard, with the goal that tokens which implement that standard would be easily integrated with the entire ecosystem of tools that are available on Ethereum. So we saw, look, we could immediately leverage any block explorer that's out there for Ethereum. We could immediately leverage any hardware wallet that's out there. And back then it was, KeepKey, Ledger was just starting to come out with stuff. And Trezor was out there forever, right? And all of these hardware wallets that already had integrated these standards would immediately work with Dragons. And we didn't have to spend any time on that part of it. And that was, again, purely to demonstrate the value and power of interoperability. So there's a long speech there. Sorry, just to make sure you know that. But how can they benefit from the ETH merge? For Dragonchain, we have a unique thought on this, which is diversity. So, and if you remember on, I think it was on the last World Blockchain Roundtable, I mentioned the diversity of protocols, of consensus protocols, of block proof protocols, proof of work, proof of stake, other, and the fact that we value primarily diversity in those protocols, because let's say that you had all of the chains use the exact same proof of work algorithm and just change some of the tuning on how long a block time was or something else, right? If any one of them fell over, all of them would have that same weakness. It's the same as using the same type of wheat crop in the entire world, that if one bug gets it, the entire thing fails. And so you want diversity in those security algorithms, those protocols. And so with the ETH 2.0 merge, the beauty will be that we have essentially added another proof of stake network without doing anything to the Dragonchain network. But we will be losing a decent amount of hash power on Ethereum itself. Maybe that hash power will move to a different chain and we can follow it with a new L5. Maybe it would move directly to Ethereum Classic again. I don't know. I don't have my hand on the pulse of the miners on Ethereum right now, so I don't know what any of them are planning to do. I'm sure it's well known out there. But either way, the other thing is, there's probably political or marketing aspects that can be used. That here's proof of stake, seeming it works, et cetera, et cetera. And we have to look into, after it's running and everything, what measures are available of the block values. How much staking power was provided on each block, and we will have to convert some of, like, say, the Eternal report, some of the numbers there. We're not too concerned about it because, number one, for the measure itself, Ethereum was actually a relatively small portion of that number. Bitcoin is the vast majority of the hash power that is measured there. So it will remain orders of magnitude accurate anyway. Accurate to orders of magnitude, I should say. And the second is that, let's say Ethereum totally collapsed in this merge, that Dragonchain will have zero to no effect, because all the business nodes are essentially independent. So they can continue on, number one, without any attachment to Ethereum. And number two, they are going to continue operating on Bitcoin and Binance Smart Chain, which is currently what's operational. So all the business projects are safe. But I mean, other than that, I would say, you know, there's a definite tech value to the merge because it's new tech, and it's a new algorithm, and it's you know, new way to measure, but it is untested. We have to hope, well, untested, I say. It's been tested, of course, but it is not running yet. So, you know, the real test comes in the operational system. So thank you very much. We'll go to the next question. Hopefully it was an all right answer. I might not have gotten the other projects so much as I should have, but IM4IM, from a financial perspective, is Den.social sustaining itself? If so, how? What's its revenue stream? Is Den running with a negative cash flow? What are the plans to move to a positive cash flow or break even? If not, how long can it continue without additional capital for support, paying devs for new features, functions, and bug fixes? That's a good question. We have a lot of work that is volunteer, right? I would say all of the moderation, like say if we didn't account for dev budget or anything else, all the moderation is effectively self-contained. There is no budget applied to moderate the layers, even the Dragonchain layer. I mean, we have people who are Dragonchain people who do moderate or at least monitor and comment on, you know, support layers and things like that. But that's a business function. Den itself doesn't have that. Now, Den does have investment from Dragonchain, commitment to you know, keep development moving forward, and to essentially apply my time to understand the various issues and how to fix them, right? And we draw on DENDAO for that a lot. Like say you yourself, IM4IM, come on and participate. We have a lot of others that come in with either signaling issues or giving ideas, and you know, we're getting closer to outside people developing. We have had some outside development that was volunteered from a research group at a university, a big university. We've had a couple of other things like that. So yeah, right now we're probably in negative cash flow if you were to account for everything in a closed system. And you know, the plans are to, you know, keep building it and see how things roll out. We haven't done a lot of analysis on, like, say, the mining itself, because that's self-generated and there is a value there. It's not tremendous right now, but it's not been you know, really considered for how it can be used in this way. You know, I do have some ideas, but you know, we just have to be careful we don't do anything that would get us in trouble or anything like that. But so far it's been pretty clean and simple and laissez-faire, right? So how long it continue without additional capital? I'd say quite a while, and it, you know, kind of depends on how things move forward in the future. You know, I would love to see more volunteerism. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I'd love to see more people coming in and offering to help code stuff. I mean, one of the things that I want to get in place is the ability to just open source the whole thing. We just haven't had time to really do it yet. So hopefully that's a good answer. That's it. That's all the questions. So I have to go. I have another meeting anyway. I have 3 minutes to go for that. So let's see here. Let me pull up my notes. So everybody's going to get one lot who in the Dragonchain layer. I want to change that at some point. I think we should make a super happy Dragon Lucky layer and reward everyone who has participated in that, and then move forward like we've done in the past, or like the way that the roundtable model or Coffee with Den is. So let us know if you have any ideas with that. Let's see here. Merch. In honor of open source money heading to YouTube, the open source money collection on Dragonchain.store is 10% off for the month through September 30th with coupon code OSM-2022. And you can basically get in there and find a bunch of cool stuff. There's even a Bitcoin mug, right? Bitcoin shirt. So get in there, buy some stuff. It's cool. And in closing, make sure you watch Super Happy Dragon Lucky again next Tuesday. Make sure you share this as you can. Make sure that you follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, and Jojo Row on Den.social and on Twitter and LinkedIn and wherever else. And like, comment, share, everything else. Thanks a bunch. Have a good week.
While nuclear weapons states can exert unlimited violence over even millions of individuals, strong cryptography means that a state, even by exercising unlimited violence, cannot violate the intent of individuals to keep secrets from them. Cryptography is the ultimate form of non-violent direct action.